Robert De Niro, a living legend and movie icon, is one of the most respected in the industry. However, with his dedication to the craft and transformative performances, not everything is smooth sailing, as it has created inevitable friction with those unable to match his intensity.
Look at the lame, inane things that he said. He's so stupid.
Nobody is as good as himself, and he believes he is the best actor he has ever worked with. He is principled, dedicated, and ready to work.
Greatest actor you've ever worked with?
Myself.
From on-set feuds to long-standing feuds, these are the top 6 actors Robert De Niro hated the most. Starting with number 6, we have Billy Crystal.
So much to do. And
What? Wrap it up, fellas. Let's go.
what?
Let's go. Look, I gotta go. Come on, let's go.
Billy Crystal is an American actor, comedian, and filmmaker. He is known as a stand-up comedian for his film and stage roles. He has received nominations for 3 Grammy Awards and 3 Golden Globe Awards. His comedic brilliance made him a Hollywood sensation. Robert and Billy were good friends, and they collaborated in a 1999 movie, Analyze This, which revealed a comic misunderstanding that industry insiders still discuss with hushed fascination. Billy Crystal, cast as psychiatrist Dr. Ben Soyle opposite the anxiety-ridden mob boss, approached the project with his signature improvising style, which was not in line with De Niro's methodical technique. According to director Harold Rami in a 2010 retrospective for Empire magazine, Bob would arrive, having internalized every aspect of Paul Vid's psychology. In his words, Billy wanted to find a scene in the moment, which created a fascinating tension on set. The breaking point came during the shooting of the scene of their pivotal therapy session, where Crystal's off-script comedic embellishment was met with De Niro's cold responses. Whilst they tried to maintain professional courtesy, De Niro had already told Martin Scorsese, a longtime collaborator, that Crystal was playing the role for laughs and not for truth. Despite the success of the movie and a sequel, crew members note that Crystal and De Niro maintained separate paths during production. Their interactions were centered on their on-camera work. An assistant director called this a misunderstanding, 2 completely different movies filmed simultaneously on the same set. This has created a gap that is hard to bridge. In the years that followed, they never worked together again, to this day. The next actor on our list, coming in at number 5, is Jennifer Lawrence.
I invited him to my rehearsal dinner for my wedding, obviously expecting him not to come, and when he came, I said, Bob, you really don't have to be here, you can go home. And he was like, thank you so much, and left.
Jennifer Lawrence's rise to stardom placed her opposite Robert De Niro in David O. Russell's Silver Linings Playbook. On one occasion, she panicked when she spotted the 80-year-old legend looking a bit out of place at her rehearsal dinner. She confessed that she didn't want him there. She mustered the courage, walked up to him and whispered to him, "You can go home now." Jennifer Lawrence said that De Niro's leaving genuinely made her feel better. The two clashed while collaborating on a film. Crew members noted De Niro's visible discomfort with Lawrence's self-described anti-method approach. Jennifer prides herself on minimal preparations and instinct, Russell revealed during a Directors Guild interview. De Niro would arrive, having researched all aspects of his character's world, and sometimes visibly frustrated when Lawrence admitted to not reading portions of the script before certain scenes. The tension was particularly evident when Lawrence played De Niro's daughter. According to the first assistant director, De Niro repeatedly requested additional rehearsal time, a practice Lawrence famously avoids. There was a moment during the basement argument scene where Ziegler told The New Yorker that Bob had marked out this intricate emotional journey, and Jennifer simply said she'd rather discover it on camera. His reaction was indescribable. During an interview with Howard Stern, De Niro was asked about his working relationship with Lawrence, and he said, "The younger generation has different ideas about craft. Sometimes spontaneity works, and other times it's just not being prepared." Despite Lawrence's continuous ascent in Hollywood, the two have not collaborated ever since. Their relationship had suggested a quiet but definitive professional distancing that speaks volumes in an industry built on relationships. Coming in at number 4 is Ben Stiller.
What can you say? Working with Robert De Niro, every day I was just excited to be there and nervous and trying do well. And
Ben Stiller, an American actor, comedian, and filmmaker, known for his blend of sharp stick humor and sharp wit, rose to fame through comedies such as There's Something About Mary and the like. Ben Stiller and De Niro collided during the making of the film Meet the Parents. Their characters were wildly different. Cast as the intimidating ex-CIA father-in-law Jack Burns, De Niro approached the role with characteristic intensity, building an elaborate backstory and profile that extended far beyond the script. On the other hand, Stiller embraced a more reactive improvisational style that reportedly frustrated De Niro's precision.
And I try to learn from him a little bit because I just see you have like sort of an even keel, and sometimes I'll be like, oh, is this working? Or, you know.
Which is good. I mean, you're always...
Yeah, sometimes, but I think it's a balance.
De Niro saw his character as a role to be played with maximum intensity. The breaking point came when they had to play a polygraph scene. Stiller continued to improvise, making De Niro angrier and causing him to isolate himself. According to director Jay Roach to The Hollywood Reporter, there was a fundamental misalignment in their comedy philosophies. Tension escalated during the infamous polygraph scene when Stiller repeatedly went off script to find a comedic angle.
You personally requested that I not be invited to the event, and I just want you to know I totally respect that. I mean, I don't think the whole time that we worked together on Meet the Parents I ever really met Robert De Niro.
As a result of this, De Niro did not invite Stiller to his AFI Life Achievement Award just because he didn't want to see him. Although the two of them found a working equilibrium, that invisible barrier between them was there to prevent any true friendship or collaboration. De Niro, however, speaks well of Stiller, but those who understand the film world well understand that underneath all those pleasantries, there were stories untold. De Niro became withdrawn rather than getting involved in on-set banter. Though the film had 2 sequels, cast members noted De Niro's detachment from each sequel. By the 3rd sequel, they had developed a professional rhythm. When asked about their collaboration at the Tribeca Film Festival, De Niro offered a measured response, saying, "Ben is very good at what he does. We just approach the work very differently." Ben Stiller is not the only actor De Niro avoided. At number 3, we have Mickey Rourke.
That's why when De Niro and I worked together, it didn't go very good.
Yeah,
Mickey Rourke is an American actor and former professional boxer who has appeared primarily as a leading man in drama, action, and thriller films. He has received a Golden Globe Award and British Academy Film Award in addition to Screen Actors Guild and Academy Award nominations. De Niro and Mickey Rourke collided on the set of the 1987 movie Angel Heart. This was one of Hollywood's most legendary behind-the-scenes conflicts. De Niro was cast as the mysterious Louis Saphir, opposite Roy Ruquet's private investigator, Harry Angel. De Niro, who is always meticulous and professional, had crafted every nuance of his demonic character, down to the tip of his fingernails. Rourke, on the other hand, emerged with Hollywood's new acting and unpredictability that infuriated De Niro. According to director Alan Parker, the tension exploded during their climactic confrontation scene when Rourke allegedly whispered unscripted provocations between takes.
He's a and a crybaby. He's a and a crybaby.
To maintain his character's hostility. De Niro refused to address Mickey Rourke directly for the rest of the production. He only communicated through Parker. The aftermath of their clash lingered for decades, with De Niro reportedly refusing his casting in several movies.
No. It's me against you, and I'm going to take you to school. That's why when De Niro and I worked together...
In an interview with Barbara D'Urso, Mickey Rourke alleged that he took De Niro to school via some performance advice. This didn't sit well with De Niro, who told him they shouldn't engage in any form of communication from then on. "It hurt my feelings a little bit because I used to look up to him," Rourke admitted. "I don't look up to him no more. I look through him," he added. In 2020, Rourke was said to be in the running for a role in Martin Scorsese's Irishman, but De Niro reportedly refused to work with him on any project, which put an end to his possible involvement. An enraged Rourke later responded on Instagram with, "Hey, Robert De Niro, that's right. I'm talking to you, you big fucking crybaby. A friend of mine just recently told me that a few months back, you were quoted saying to newspapers that Mickey Rourke is a liar. He talks all kinds of shit. Listen, Mr. Tough Guy in the movies, you're the first person that ever called me a liar, and it was in a newspaper." Ever since, it has never been the same with the two. Up next, on number 2, we have Edward Norton.
I mean, Ed is a very, very bright, very smart actor and wonderful actor, and I'm happy that he was playing in the film.
Edward Norton is an American actor, director, producer, and scriptwriter who gained recognition and critical acclaim for his debut in the movie Primal Fear, earning him a Golden Globe Award for Best Supporting Actor and an Academy Award nomination in the same category. His reputation for uncompromising creative control collided with Robert De Niro's authority during the production of the movie The Score in 2001. The set of the movie quickly became a battleground for acting philosophies and professional boundaries. Edward offered ideas about his character development, including suggestions for rewriting scenes, which the filmmaker OZ later revealed to Filmmaker magazine. De Niro, on the other hand, viewed it as disrespectful to both the script as well as the directors. Tension escalated when Norton, playing a character pretending to be disabled for a con, maintained aspects of his performance between takes. This prompted De Niro to coldly remark, "I've learned from real people, not from acting like them."
Advice that Bob ever gave me went something like this. We were shooting a scene in a film that I was lucky enough to work on with him, and
The conflict reached such proportions that De Niro refused to film certain scenes in Norton's presence, except when necessary for dialogue purposes. Although Marlon did not have any personal beef with De Niro, he even congratulated him on his award, but it meant more to De Niro. He even declined subsequent projects to which Norton was attached. At the top of our list today is none other than Donald Trump.
And what I'm very, very worried about is that it might go in the wrong direction with someone like Donald Trump.
A lot of people might not know this, but Donald Trump is a 2-time Emmy Award-nominated personality. He made appearances as a caricature version of himself in television series and films such as The Nanny, Home Alone, and the like. He has also appeared in several commercials for Pizza Hut, the first of which aired in the US in 1995, and the second aired in the Australian market in 2000. However, since the start of his political career in 2015, especially winning the 2016 presidential elections, his celebrity life has been eclipsed by his public role as president. Trump and De Niro have had issues since at least 2011, when De Niro joked, "Kazlista Gingrich, Karen Santorum, and Ann Romney. Now, do you think our country is ready for a white first lady?" and has become increasingly heated over the years. Donald Trump wasn't having the joke at all. He called it an inappropriate racist joke, adding that De Niro wasn't the brightest bulb in the chandelier. This was the first time they openly clashed. During the presidential election in 2016, De Niro became one of Trump's most vocal celebrity critics.
Talks how he wants to punch people in the face. Well, I'd like to punch him in the face.
In a viral video, he said, "I'd like to punch him in the face. He's so blatantly stupid. He's a punk, a dog, a pig." De Niro doubled down on his criticism numerous times, calling Trump a bully, a national disaster, a fool, and a wannabe gangster. In response, Trump went on Twitter and in interviews calling De Niro a very low IQ individual, a punch drunk from too many movies.
He is really, genuinely a sick person that somehow has been allowed into our system.
Throughout Trump's presidency, De Niro continued his attack in speeches, interviews, and award shows. He has continued to speak out against Trump, including participating in anti-Trump events and campaigning efforts against his campaign bid. De Niro even appeared outside the courthouse of Trump's criminal trial in New York and gave an impassioned speech about Trump, calling him a threat to democracy. De Niro would never accept Trump, irrespective of the fact that he is the president of America, and he is by far his worst. Robert De Niro has people he loves dearly in the industry, and some others he can't stand. These are the top 6 actors Robert De Niro hated the most and can't collaborate with. Hit like, subscribe, and share for more.